Now, polling analysis in the Australian newspaper today shows that the coalition has lost significant ground in a key voter group since the start of the year. Among female voters, the coalition was sitting at 51.49% over Labor in January. They were so much for having a women's problem. They were in the lead, but now they're trailing Labor in that key demographic, 46 to 54%. Gary, is this largely due to their failure to really explain their work from home scheme and how that was going to be impacting the public service? What other issues do you see contributing to this turnaround?
You know, I just think this whole kind of Tim Walsh go soft kind of don't be a blokey bloke, get rid of toxic masculinity stuff, that kind of stuff that we saw in America 6 months ago, I think is happening here. I think it's like, oh, you know, we don't want to upset women. Hang on. It's not about upsetting women. This is about providing some strength that women will gravitate towards. You've got a Prime Minister that walks around with a poodle in the middle of a park and thinks that is campaigning on Good Friday. We need to have some guts. People actually want to see guts. And I think that you don't have to be belligerent. You don't have to be, you know, brutal. You don't have to be toxic, but you've got to be strong. And I think a lot of women call this out faster than blokes. I think women are less forgiving about blokes they don't think are real. And I think that's the problem. Peter has got to show the real Peter Dutton. And sadly, the campaign people running this campaign haven't allowed him to do that, from what I can see. No,
they haven't allowed him to do that. And what matters most, I think, regardless if you're male, female, left, right, wherever you are a swing voter, you want to see authenticity. You want to see the real person. And I think that's what's been lacking at this election campaign. I don't think people have really got to know Peter Dutton. They've got this caricature that Labor and the Greens have pushed, and that seems to be the dominant point of view of the man. Now, let's have a look at how that has been created. We're going to look at some election campaign material that's on social media. We're going to start with Monique Ryan. She's obviously isn't comfortable taking questions from journalists like our own Laura Jays. But she's more than happy to participate in whatever this is.
Can I sing for you, please? Of course. I am strong, strong. I am invincible, invincible. I am woman. Okay, thank you, that's all.
Authorised by A. Mishra Mulvin.
That's from the Youth for Mon group. And let's see what the Greens have been up to. Here's their candidate for Cooper, Tara Burnett, a transgender woman and public school teacher.
Got to say, the highlight was a fella showing up in a T-shirt depicting the performer who brought out the Palestinian and Sudanese flags during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance, taking a green flyer.
What can you say about that? And let's have a look at this ad from Labor. The scaremongering is reaching new highs.
Authorised by SDCOS, Australian Labor Party, Docklands.
Gary, this characterisation of Peter Dutton as some scary ogre who is just wanting to slash Medicare and put women back in the kitchen, it is so obtuse, but it seems to be working.
In the absence of a counter-argument, the counter-argument's got to be, you're better off than you were 3 years ago. If you're not, you can't vote for Albo. And look, people are seeing a frustration amongst, as I say, amongst normally Liberal voters. They want a king hit and a knockout punch now, but we've still got a few rounds to go. Look, there is no other way of putting this. The campaign that they have run has been lacking the lustre that people wanted. All they wanted was someone to say, you know what, we're going this way, and they would have actually followed him. They just would have followed him, and we just haven't had the strength and the simplicity in that messaging. But the reality is, it's Labor tax you pay is really the counterpoint. They are going to increase taxes. They are going to make it harder for people to survive the cost of living increases that are coming, including electricity prices going up again, all off the back of keeping billionaires really happy. There are so many great messages. You know, if I was back in the trenches, I'd be doing it. But all I can say is that I would have expected stronger, clearer, straightforward messages, a call to arms, you know, a call to action. And I've yet to see it.
No, and even on the one policy area where there seems to be a bit of differentiation between the two parties, though the coalition's plan is more of a long-term one, we're not hearing much about their nuclear plan. In fact, you rarely hear them push that policy and say this is a solution long-term for the country. You don't hear them make those arguments about how renewables have pushed up prices and made some very rich people even richer. Where are those arguments? Because that actually would speak to the electorate. Energy prices are a top issue and it impacts everybody.
Well, I think we're going to get $275 off our power bill. And I don't know about you, but I get a power bill every quarter. So I was counting on getting something akin to $1,100 or $1,200 off my power over the course of the year. It's gone up. That. So we have been lied to. Nuclear is part of the mix in 19 out of the 20 developed countries in the world. Guess what? We're number 20 without nuclear. There's a lot of reasons why nuclear should be considered. The $600 billion cost is just a made-up figure, and Labor knows that. They're all starting to walk away from that. But, you know, in the end, it's hard to promote revolutionary policies from opposition. I get it. But they brought the argument up. They could have had the conversation, established the problem. Come up, if you've got the solution, you've got to establish the problem first. People don't like Albo. People are resenting the fact that they may vote for him ahead of Peter Dutton, and they'll be angrier at the Liberal Party than they will be at the Labor Party. You want to talk about lefties losing it? Rita, right now, the lefties in the Liberal Party are losing it right now. And that, I think, is your segment for next week. Lefties losing it. Is the Liberal lefties losing it?
They're causing so much damage. There's not many of them left, but that small group are continuing to frustrate efforts to actually appeal to those vital outer suburbs and regional areas. Gary Hardgrave, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Rita.